built a home and watched it burn. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand.
Hey there, Kaleidoscope Clan. How's everyone doing? It's Mariposa Maát. And today I'd like to have a little conversation about how to not only survive, but to thrive after serious betrayal by your own blood, by your family. You know, it's one thing by friends because you didn't come into this world necessarily attached, so it's easier to cut it off. But when it's family, it's another dimension of betrayal, right? Because blood is supposed to be thicker than water, and it's kind of like that's the team that you were born into. So it's very hurtful. It can be very devastating when people within your own family want your demise, when they don't want to see you happy and thriving. And I am speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking on it because it's something that people don't talk about it that much, because it is it can feel shameful, but it's not something that you should take ownership of, because how people act toward you says more about who they are than who you are. And the key really is to not take it on as it being your burden to carry. You have to learn how to release the pain and the responsibility of the situation, but still take responsibility for yourself and for your well-being. It's a delicate balance. So yeah, it's kind of like in fairy tales, you know, you have, and it's been a long time since I've seen these fairy tales, but in almost all of them, there's like some older, bitter person who, you know, who covets or envies the younger person, and they want to take their energy or something like that, right? Like in Sleeping Squirrels. Like in Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, and those are the ones that come to mind. But right, like in Sleeping Beauty, wasn't she the one that was like in the mirror saying, you know, the fairest of them all, and wanting to like take her light, her energy? That, you know, there was serious envy. And I think it was her stepmother, right? So it's like that. It's like you have people who are supposed to be championing your happiness and cheering you on and being in your corner, and instead they're the ones who are like hyper focused on you, and imagining and using their powers for your downfall. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to recognize that they are broken. They're mentally ill in some kind of way to even have that kind of a focus. So that means that either something terrible happened to them, or somehow they are not able to manage normal adult relationships and feelings. They're not able to manage their own shadow work. You know, like there have been disappointments in their life that they felt like they didn't deserve, or, you know, certain things that they're very burdened by. And to see you not burdened by that same thing brings up really inadequate feelings within themselves, you know, and it's a sad situation, you know, for them. So first is to kind of understand that it comes from a broken place on their part. But then also, being an empath, as I am, it's very important to not take it on as your responsibility to help them, because you can't. If they don't want to take responsibility for their unhappiness, whatever their emotional burdens are, then there's really nothing you can do. And that is, that can be a challenge for empaths. I know myself, I have always been an empath, and I didn't even know what an empath was until I was in my 40s. And so managing that understanding why I feel so uncomfortable when other people are uncomfortable, and why it feels so good for me to help other people. It's because I feel their feelings, so you kind of have to learn to detach from them. You have to recognize it, but then detach and not take responsibility for it. It's really important to be able to do that. And again, like I said, it's a very delicate balance, because in order to keep your own light, there's a certain amount of forgiveness that you have to give them. You can't then allow that negativity to be transferred or projected onto you, and then you carry that anger because of what's happened to you. That could very well happen if you're not well adjusted yourself, and you're not conscious of how to maintain, your own upliftment. So you have to be able to see it, to have compassion, but to respectfully keep very serious boundaries and not allow that person inside of your boundaries. Again, you can't afford to, because it comes to a point where, because they're so fixated and negative, that it's kind of like a you or them situation. That's what they've made it into. So you have to choose yourself. You have to choose yourself above anyone else. You have to cut the cord. I mean, like, in every way. You have to keep your boundary. And there are literal, cord cutting meditations that you can do. I have a favorite one, and I will link it below in the description. Just a little meditation that you need to do so you're very clear. And so spiritually, there's no attachment that is maintained that can be very detrimental. So yes, I would say to definitely do a cord cutting. And then refocus on yourself. Don't keep the focus on that person. Only, when they try to violate your boundaries, will you need to revisit that person in your mind, because focusing on them is also giving them your energy, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to maintain your energy uplifted. So whatever energy you gave them in the past, you have to call your energy back, and literally say, I call all my energy back, from that person, across all time, space, and dimensions, okay? And you can also say, I return the energy that they've sent, back to them, not to be able to penetrate my aura, okay? And this is just all energetic work, like it happens in your mind. You have to really see all your energy coming back. You have to see all their negative energy going back to them, not to hurt them, but they're the ones who sent it out, so they're the ones who need to deal with it, right? And you have to continue to be uplifted. Be thankful that you are not that person. I mean, use it as an example of, wow, I'm really blessed because I don't feel that way towards anyone, where I want to, see their downfall in order to make me feel like I'm higher or better. Only a very low mentality, very low and sick mentality would be doing that, right? So be thankful. Being thankful is very key in keeping your energies elevated, and focus on the good. Focus on the good in your life. Focus on the good in you. There's a song by Nako, Bear, and the Medicine People. It's called Dichotomy. And I think it's a great song that reflects the mentality that you need to have. It goes, get the fuck away from me, 'cause I can still love you when you're far away from me. Dichotomy, that's how you know you really love somebody. When you leave them as they are, that's how you know you really love everybody. Dichotomy, me. It's all in me. Dichotomy. Okay, so that really speaks to, even though you're a loving person, that you can also cut someone off. That's the dichotomy of being a godly person, because you can love everyone from afar if you need to. It doesn't mean you have to hate them, but you do need to make sure that they know that there is no space for them to violate your boundaries again, or to be in your personal space, physically or energetically. Okay, so that is the crux of it. Again, and I'm in Mexico, a very family focused place, so it's even more family focused than America. And so it's something that I'm faced with, the idea that, oh wow, look at all these beautiful families, who love each other. And we all have different walks. We all have different destinies for different reasons. I believe in this life being a continuation of past lives, ancestral realities, and so you never know why these things happen. Or maybe you can if you have past life regressions and things like that, but the point is to process it as powerfully and as gracefully as possible, so that you can do your best to break those generational curses that are thrown at you by other people in your family. Okay, so that is it. I just wanted to encourage those who deal with it, because it is a serious challenge. And it took me many years, first of all, to recognize what was going on, because very rarely do they openly tell you that they hate you and they want your demise. No, they tell you and other people that they love you, but you're messed up in some kind of way, and they try to create crazy stories about you and to bring you down in other people's eyes. That's what usually happens. And if that is a pattern, then I would say please look into it. Don't allow it just to continue to fester and go on. Don't continue to feed into really negative relationships where people do not mean you well and are only going to use every opportunity to tear you down. Okay? So once again, this is Mariposa Maát encouraging you to continue to embody your sacred transformation. Until next time.
We will ride till we won, built a home and watched it